Hello everybody, it's Non-Scene News here, and today we've got a lot of broken updates today. So the first news is coming from China, where the Russian 5th generation fighter jet, the Su-57, has just been spotted in China, and it has just flew to China for the first time to participate in the Air Show of China 2024 Aerospace Expedition in Zhuhai. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see Russia's 5th generation fighter jet landing in the Chinese air show where it will be participating in. So we can see here it lands, and Chinese residents has actually been given the chance to actually film up close the Russian fighter jet. So the Russian 5th generation fighter jet, so Russia's probably top-notch fighter, the best fighter that Russia has, and we can see people actually take videos with it, take selfies on it. So interesting news. We've also gotten some graphs of China's substantial military investments in the South China Sea from 2003 to 2022. So a graph has been published of Chinese investments in the South China Sea. So we can see here around $15 billion over 20 years has been invested of China's South China Sea. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see the military investments of China in the South China Sea. Interesting news. And now let's head to North Korea. So Russia has apparently promised North Korea about 700,000 tons of rice a year and $2,000 in payments to soldiers in exchange for support in the war against Ukraine. So this was reported by major South Korean media outlets. So the agreements also provides the transfer of space technology to North Korea and possible assistance from Russia in an event of a military conflict on the Korean peninsula. So Russia has apparently, according to South Korean media outlets, promised North Korea 700,000 tons of rice a year and $2,000 in space in payments to soldiers, and an exchange of war support against Ukraine, and the transfer of space technology to North Korea, and for Russia to actually help North Korea in an event of a war in the Korean peninsula. So this again was reported by the major Korean media outlets. So this possibly could fix North Korea's food problem, and relations between Russia and North Korea continue to grow. Now let's head to some Russian statements and some Russian news. So according to CNN, Putin is unlikely to come to the negotiation table regardless of who wins the US election. So according to CNN, there is nothing to indicate that Russia is ready to sit down at the negotiating table regardless of who wins and becomes the US president. And we've also got news that Russia's ex-president of Russia stated that Trump will not be able to stop the war in Ukraine. If he tries to stop the war in Ukraine, he may be assassinated. So this is actually coming from Russia's ex-president, and he stated that the US presidential elections will not change anything for Russia. So again, more news that Russia won't sit on the negotiating table. We've also got news that Putin met with North Korea's foreign minister, Cho Sun-hee. So a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korea's foreign minister, Cho Sun-hee, took place today in the Kremlin. So the foreign minister was in Moscow on a working visit. So North Korea's foreign minister conveys warm wishes from North Korea's chairman of the State Affairs, Kim Jong-un. In turn, Vladimir Putin sends the best greetings back. So interesting news. The full statements and the results of the meeting is still not out yet, but I'll keep you updated. With that if anything else comes around. We've also got news coming from Russia's foreign minister Lavrov that BRICS is to consider a new member in BRICS in 2025. The issue of full membership of countries interested in joining BRICS will be considered in 2025, according to the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said in an interview with the international network TV BRICS. So, BRICS is going to be considering a new member in 2025, and I'll keep you updated on that. And we've also got news coming from St. Petersburg that an exhibition of Western military equipment has just opened in St. Petersburg. So we can see from this image alone, we can see M1 Abrams tanks, so a lot of Bradleys, a lot of Western equipment, including Bushmasters from Australia, Turkish weapons, Dutch weapons, British weapons, Canadian weapons, French weapons, Finnish weapons, obviously Ukrainian, and more. So interesting news. So a weapon thing has been opened in St. Petersburg. Now let's head to Ukraine. So according to Russian soldiers, I quote, "This is the kind of crap North Korea sends. Only one shell out of 5 fires." So according to Russian soldiers, they show how they washed grease and rust off 82mm mortars given to Russia by North Korea, apparently, according to this video. So, according to this video, we can see Russians scrape off rust and grease from these mortar shells, and apparently these are from North Korea, allegedly by Ukrainian sources. We've also gotten videos of testing of a new anti-drone system equipped with a thermal sight for kinetic interception of small enemy drones. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see this Russian man testing out this new interception drone device that, if you can see here in the bottom left corner, he actually shoots, and we can see the drone actually goes to the other drone and actually shoots it down. So we've actually gotten the video of the drone itself with the thermal sight actually intercepting the not Ukrainian drone, the test drone. And now let's head to some political updates coming from Ukraine. So according to Yermak, a Ukrainian official, Ukraine will not accept any proposals that threaten its existence, the right to self-determination, or dignity of our people. So in an interview with the LSM, Yermak recalled that Kiev's conditions for ending the war includes the complete and unconditional withdrawal of Russian troops from all of Ukraine, and the repeal of illegal annexations, demilitarization and deoccupation of the Zaporozhian nuclear power plant, and the restoration of freedom of movement. So, interesting news. So, even more news coming from Ukraine about Ukraine ending the war. So, according to the Ukrainian side, Russia has to completely withdraw all of its troops from the Kherson region, Zaporozhia, the Donetsk, the Donbass, and even Crimea. So, interesting news. And we've also got news that, according to Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, there are already 11,000 North Korean troops in the Kursk region, and there are no reaction from our partners. So this was according to Zelensky. And we've also got news that Poland offers Ukraine a loan to buy Polish weapons. So the Polish foreign minister stated that Poland is offering Ukraine to help in the form of a loan to buy weapons from Polish factories. He stated, the Polish foreign minister stated that this could have been done from the beginning. Buy now, pay back when you recover. So, interesting news coming from the Polish foreign minister. And we've also got news that the German foreign minister has arrived in the capital city of Ukraine, Kiev. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can actually see the German foreign minister arriving in Kiev by train. So she stated that Ukraine's future lies in both the EU and NATO. This was affirmed in the NATO's declaration in Washington this summer. She stated that Putin aims to deny Ukraine this free choice, said the German foreign minister, and she stated that Germany will also provide 200 million euros in winter humanitarian aid for Ukraine. And while talking about the snow and winter, we can actually see the first footage now appearing on the front line of snow. So this first snow has appeared at the front lines in Ukraine. This video is from the Kharkiv direction. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see snow now coming to Ukraine. So interesting news. Now let's head to Hungary. So we've gotten some news coming from the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. So he stated that Trump's victory would force Europe to stop supporting the war in Ukraine. So Orban stated that if what we expect happens and America becomes an advocate for peace, then Europe will not be able to remain a supporter of the war in Ukraine, stated the Prime Minister of Hungary. And now let's head to Moldova, where we've gotten some news of the Moldovan election results. So the Moldovan election results are, with 80% of votes counted, the results was the current president has been re-elected. She has announced that she has won the presidential elections in Moldova, and she is seen by many as a pro-Western president, and she has now won her second term. And we've also got some more election news, but this time it's coming from the United Kingdom's political party. So the UK's Conservative Party just elected the anti-woke Kimi as their new leader. So the UK's Conservative Party on Saturday elected Kimi Benosh as their new leader, replacing Rishi Sunak, so the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, after the party's poor performance in July's general election. So Kimi Benosh is seen as an anti-woke activist and advocates for anti-wokeness, and she also faces challenges of uniting a divided party. So interesting news, and I will keep you updated on her. We've also gotten some stuff coming from the Sunday Times. So the Sunday Times has just released a video showing King Charles III and Prince William making millions of pounds a year from their property empire, quote unquote. So through their private estates, according to the Sunday Times. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, this video estimates that the royal family owns 5,410 plots of land in England and a couple in Wales. So this was published by the Sunday Times. And now let's head to Spain, where we've got news coming from the city of Valencia. So we talked about how Valencia has been hit with a huge floods that have absolutely devastated the city. So we've got news that the Spanish king and queen and the prime minister actually visited Valencia, and during their visit to the devastated city in the Valencia region, angry residents actually responded to their visit and actually threw mud and stones at the king and queen, shouting, "Get out, murderers!" So interesting news. So the police had to bring in the mounted officers to hold back the discontent. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can actually see the king and queen get mud and stones thrown at them. So if we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can actually see the queen herself with mud all over her. So this is the Queen of Spain, and it's just very bad news that are happening in Spain. We've also gotten some news of more floods that have hit Spain now. So another flood has been reported in Spain, but this time in this city here. So in this city here, we can see there's been more floods that have been hitting Spain. And we've also gotten some news coming from Barcelona, that the Barcelonian authorities issue red alert over extreme weather. So the Barcelonian authorities issue red alert over extreme weather, and we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see huge floods on the major city of Barcelona. So interesting news. And now let's head to Morocco. We've got news that Morocco has actually surpassed China and Japan as top car exporter to Europe. So Morocco's car exports to the EU experienced a substantial increase in 2023, reaching a value over $60 billion, according to the Automotive Logistics and leading global platform for the news and analysts on the automotive industry and supply chain. So this represents a growth of nearly 30% compared to the previous year. According to the estimates from Morocco's central bank, the country's delivered a total of 536,000 vehicles to Europe in 2023. So Morocco surpasses China and Japan as top exporters to Europe. And now let's head to Algeria. So Algeria marks 70th anniversary of start of the revolt against French rule. So a military parade was held in the capital city of Algeria on Friday to mark 70 years since the start of the Algerian Revolution. The Algerian president was seen and took part in the parade, saluting to cheering crowds from a tank before proceeding over the ceremony. So on November the 1st, Algeria's National Liberation Front attacked French targets in Algeria, setting off the Algerian War, which led to the country's independence from France. So there's been a huge military parade in the capital city of Algeria to celebrate this event. So interesting news. Now let's head to Mali. That Mali has just passed a law criminalizing same-sex acts. So anything homosexual now in Mali will be a crime. So Mali passes law criminalizing same-sex acts. And now let's head to Ethiopia, where we've got news that the Ethiopian Emperor's shield that was taken by the British has just returned to the homeland. So the shield of the Albanesian Emperor Theodros II that was taken by Britain from Ethiopia in 1868 during the Magdala War has just returned to its homeland in Ethiopia. So the shield of the Emperor Tewodros II of Ethiopia has just returned to Ethiopia, and it was just handed over by British authorities. And now let's head to Gaza and Israel. So we've gotten some reports from the Palestinian government media office that the Israeli army has apparently prevented 3,800 trucks of aid and food reaching northern Gaza within a month. So this is according to the Palestinian government media office. So according to them, last month, the Israeli army turned away 3,800 trucks of aid and food from reaching northern Gaza within a month. We've also got news that the American airline suspends its flights to and from Israel until the summer of 2025, and we've also got news that the Polish Airlines LOT has once again decided to suspend its flights to Israel until November the 27th. The next news is coming from Iran. So according to the Wall Street Journal, citing officials, Iran told diplomats that its response to Israel will be even more powerful than the previous one. So Iran has also informed diplomats that it has lost 4 soldiers and a civilian in the Israeli attack that happened not so long ago, and Iran has informed diplomats that its army will participate in responding to Israel and not the IRGC only. So the Iranian response to Israel's attack will be happening according to Iranian officials, according to Wall Street Journal. We've got some more news coming from Georgia. So the Georgian opposition holds another rally contesting the parliamentary election results. So protesters demand an international investigation and call for new elections under the international oversight. So again, the people of Georgia are now demanding another, an international investigation and call for new elections under international oversight. So interesting news. And within actually this Georgian protesters, Greta Thunberg has actually been seen among the protesters in Georgia. So just interesting news. We've also got news coming from Qatar that 2 B-52 heavy bombers have landed in Qatar and ready to help, I quote, defend themselves from Iran. So 2 American B-52 heavy bombers have landed in Qatar to try and defend Israel from Iran, according to American sources. We've also got news coming from the Taliban Afghanistan that the Taliban have just banned Afghan women from praying loudly or reciting the Quran in front of other women. The news were announced by Khalid Hanfia. This is a Taliban minister of Afghanistan. So Taliban has banned Afghan women from praying loudly or reciting the Quran in front of other women. We've also got news that the Pakistani Navy just successfully tested a 350-kilometer range ballistic missile from a warship, showcasing advanced navigation and precision targeting against land and sea threats. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, Pakistan has released this video showcasing the successful test of this new 350 kilometer range ballistic missile from the Pakistani Navy. So it seems it hits very precisely, and it's apparently got advanced navigation according to the Pakistan government. We got news coming from India that an Indian MiG-29 fighter jet crashes near Agra. The pilot safely ejected. So near this city right here in India, an Indian MiG-29 jet crashes, but the pilot was fine. He ejected. So if you can see here in your bottom left corner, we can actually see the Indian MiG-29 fighter jet crashing. So the plane went into an uncontrolled flight before the crash. The moment of the ejection is not visible, but it is known that the pilot managed to eject before the plane crashed. So the pilot is completely fine, everyone's fine. So, but the Indian Air Force just lost a MiG-29 fighter jet. And now let's head to Taiwan. So Taiwan's army confirms the delivery and deployment of 11 HIMARS rocket launcher systems from the US. So these systems can fire 6 precision guided rockets or a single ATACMS missile with a range up to 300 kilometers. So Taiwan's army just confirmed the delivery and deployment of 11 HIMARS rocket launchers systems from the US. So we will see China's response to this. So the People's Republic of China, I think, is going to respond very, very harsh to this. And I'll keep you updated on that. And now let's head to the last news come today, and it's coming from the US. So according to Donald Trump, the EU is no better than China. They sell their goods here, but won't accept ours, according to Donald Trump. He is also advocating for 100 to 200% tariff on EU products and Chinese products. So, interesting news. And as you know, tomorrow is the US presidential elections. So, there's been very big news coming from Washington. So, security fences have been installed in Washington, D.C. ahead of the US elections. So, if you can see here in your bottom left corner, we can see people actually putting up fences around the White House. So, it seems that tensions in America seem to be growing and growing with tomorrow with the presidential elections. So, I might actually stream the presidential elections. So, I don't know if you guys will like that, but I don't know. But that's all the news I actually have for you today. I am Non-Scene News. I'll try and provide you news that the medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, so consider subscribing and liking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.